Monsignor Charles Pope, a popular blogger and priest in Washington, D.C., is pushing back against the tech giant, tweeting, quote, Facebook is demanding that I supply a government ID proving that my name is Monsignor Charles Pope. I will do no such thing. Guess it's goodbye.
So if this is Monsignor Charles Pope's name, then why does Facebook have such a problem with it? See, the same week that Facebook cracks down on Catholic clergy, well, they've issued a public apology at the same time to the quote-unquote drag queens and drag kings, they say, for the hardship that we put you through in dealing with your Facebook accounts. See, Facebook picks and chooses who gets to log on under what name. They don't let priests log on using their names, but they do make an extra effort to welcome others. Well, Facebook owner Mark Zuckerberg, he is stinking rich, and it's because we drive traffic to Facebook and his wallet. And then he turns around and he donates millions to liberal causes. Recently, about $1 billion worth of shares to Planned Parenthood supporters. Well, joining me from New Orleans is a Georgetown-educated attorney, also an avid hunter and fisherman. You know, one of those clinging to his guns and his religion. He's another church leader, Monsignor Christopher Nolte. And Monsignor, I thank you so much for joining us. And please let us know what is going on with this new Facebook policy. And I do find it interesting because, did you know, I can't even log on to my own account either. They think I'm faking my name, I guess. Well, what's with this policy?
Well, it seems like there's a policy. My theory on it is Facebook really wants to become one of these portals whereby you have your authentic name in Facebook and then they allow you to use your Facebook credentials to log on to other sites. So what they're trying to do is to get your government ID name. Priests, most places don't allow you to put your priestly title on your driver's license or on your passport, and that's basically the line that Facebook is taking. However, you can go on Facebook and see all kinds of foolishness names. It seems to me recently this has been applied selectively to people using father or sister or Monsignor. Now, if you're a drag queen and you want to go by Sister Mrs. something, that's fine. But if you're a religious sister and you want to put sister in your name, that's what they're going after. So it seems to me like selective application of the rule.
Well, I'm glad that you explained that that's the significance of our mentioning the drag queens and drag kings that Facebook apologizes to, but then still bans you all from using your appropriate titles. Why is it important for any member of the clergy to use your titles?
Well, you know, for us as members of the clergy, we don't see it as just a title. We really see it as our identity, our priestly identity or religious identity. It's a commitment that we make that would be like before when I practiced law, attorney Christopher Nolte or Christopher Nolte Esquire. That just connotes what I do. But whereas priests and religious really see it as who they are. And so my identity as a priest, now I have an honorific title, Monsignor, and that title was given to me directly by the Holy Father. So that has significance to me, that it was by using that title, I'm recognizing this honorary title that the Holy Father gave me. But it goes to identity. And the truth is, if Facebook really wants us to use our name on Facebook that we go by every day, everybody calls me Monsignor Nolte, right? My mom and maybe my sisters will call me Christopher. Some of my old friends will call me worse, but I go by Monsignor Nolte. That's who I am. Okay.
Oh, thank you for explaining that further. That is your identity. I hear that you and others are tempted to quit Facebook if they don't change their ways. Really? You'd bail from Facebook?
Yeah, well, the truth is that nowadays there's a lot of social media sites. I originally got on Facebook primarily just to see things that my friends had put up. After a while, and once I got an iPad, it made it very easily to scan. I can like news outlets and I can use it like a news feed. And I found it's good for evangelization. But the truth is they're not the only game in town these days. And if Facebook wants to drive people like me and other priests and religious away, we'll find another way. In fact, somebody sent me recently about a new social page just for Catholics called Awestruck TV, awestruck.tv. And it's basically a Facebook model, but it's people, who are talking primarily about Catholic issues. And that's kind of what I go on there. I want hard news. I want what's going on in the country, and I want to know what's going on in the church, not just in the United States, but around the world. And Facebook has allowed me to do that. But if they drive me off by having me go by a title without my title, which is not how I go to day, I'm sure a lot of us will leave. I mean, I've talked to a number of priests. One of my priest friends from Connecticut got shut out yesterday. And people have asked me to kind of speak up. Monsignor Pope was a great person because he's a very prominent blogger in the Archdiocese of Washington. I go to his site to read his reflections on Scripture, particularly in preparation for a homily on the weekend, and that they got rid of him, and he's made a little protest. If we can, maybe get them to treat us the same way that they treat other people who want to use the title they use, maybe that'll be good for all of us.
Yeah, I thought, well, when I first heard the story, well, maybe Facebook has a problem with Monsignor Pope because they thought, no, the name is, too coincidental. It's providential. It's prophetic, right? The name Pope as a Catholic leader. So I thought they were just messing around with it. So interesting to hear that, nope, it's not just Charles Pope. You have had feedback then from fellow priests or clergy about this issue. Facebook itself, though, they are such a monopoly. Do they listen to people? Can we put pressure on Facebook to allow you to exercise what it comes down to is freedom of religion and your identity as made manifest in a title that you choose to use?
It seems like the easiest thing to do. If you ever go to an airline website, and you have to put in your name and information, your credit card information, and they usually have an optional field for title. Now, they don't always have Reverend or Father or Monsignor, but there's an optional title. Now, Facebook does have that ability. However, they do not include the title as part of your name. It goes below your name like some sort of afterthought. Truth is, I go by Monsignor Nalty every day. That's what people call me. And the idea, what interests do they have besides, I think their main interest is money. And I think they're trying to monetize by having my legal information so that I may use Facebook to go onto other sites and they can capture some sort of revenue from it. But they can easily make a title field that would appear right next to my name. So when people went to my name, because frankly, people search for me under Monsignor Nalty. They don't search for Christopher Nalty. They know I've had this title since 2008. That's how I'm known. I've known people around the world. Back I worked in Italy. That's how they know me, and that's what they look for to find me.
Oh, well, I'm encouraged, too, to hear you explain to viewers that there are alternatives out there. I have, of course, an issue with sending traffic, sending money to liberal causes via the owner of Facebook, so that's cool. Hey, also, I heard interesting tidbit about you as a hunter, that you were a guest on Piers Morgan's show, Gulp, and Piers Morgan...
Is he that guy who played Remington Steele?
See, I love you already. Who would you rather kind of hang out with? Maybe go hunting, go up to Alaska in the great north and out in the wilderness and get to harvest some good, clean, organic protein. Would it be Piers or someone else?
I don't know. I think he's afraid of guns, isn't he?
He doesn't believe in them, though he perhaps has an armed bodyguard once in a while, yes.
I imagine. He I think his coming here and doing his show in America, so many things when I talked to him, because I talked to him in advance of the papal election, back when Pope Francis was elected. That's why he had me on the show. He didn't bring up guns with me. I was kind of ready for that, but I was right in the middle of his gun tirade, but he didn't bring it up. But someone like that being a prominent commentator to Americans, oftentimes you can find that they're really out of touch with the kind of everyday, normal, people who live here, and not just the big city liberals, but the people who live in the heartland, or the people who live in the South, and they have a different attitude toward them. Unfortunately, that's what happened, I think, to his show. I think the ratings kind of trickled off a little bit.
Yeah, he was telling us how to live our lives. Shoot, I wish you would have brought up guns with you, though. I'm sure you would have been armed and, locked and loaded, ready to go. But very diverse background that you have. I think you were fascinating, from Georgetown and attorney, and your vocations and avocations, I think, really shape you as a leader with diverse interests and connections connections to so many people. Keep up the good work. And again, I'm sure that the perspectives that you bring to what it is that you do in the ministry is so valuable.
People say, you know, I work for a lawyer. So some people, there's a wide variety of people who are in my, profession. And that's really what it is. You profess your belief in something. And for some people, it would be someone who went right out of high school, who led a very holy life, or a monk. Some people want to talk with priests who've kind of been out there in the mix and, led a more of a normal mainstream type of life before they went into the priesthood. But, I have other priests around the country and around the world. And, these are my closest friends. And these are really the guys who I stay in touch with on Facebook. We kind of evangelize each other, past things of interest. And to see them just over the last several weeks being, their titles removed and Facebook it's very selective what's been going on. And I know that I'm on the list because they sent me a notice asking me to verify my real name. And I said, that's my real name. And like I said, one of my brother's priests lost his account yesterday, and he can log on back with just his name without father, but I'm not sure that he's really interested in doing that either. So we'll find another way to get in touch.
Well, and bless your heart, mentioning you being on a list. I'm sure after this visit with me today, you're probably on a couple other lists too. So, bless your heart. Monsignor Christopher Nolte, thank you so much for joining us today. And next up, my final thoughts for the day.